What's up, guys? This is Webby back again for your 1991 Survivor Series review. The Gravest Challenge. The immortal Hulk Hogan defends the WWE Championship against the Undertaker. All that plus so much more. Me and my special guest, my friend, my arch nemesis, Jason
Nemesis?
Funny.
What are you trying to say? That I'm your main enemy?
Well, you definitely
I'm the Lex Luger to the Superman.
You definitely made those ignorant videos the other day on your channel, which you all can go and watch. His channel is Jason Whitson, soon to be Jason Funny. Go and check his channel out. His videos are entertaining for you to watch, aren't they?
Well, I would hope so. I'm working on changing it to Jason Funny. I haven't really figured out how to do it yet, but Webby said I could do it, so I'm gonna try to. I'll change it because I don't have to put my real name on there.
So,
like Bob Hope, his name is not like Bob Hope,
but anyway, so go check out his channel. A lot of entertaining stuff. 1991 Survivor Series. Ric Flair captains the Warlord, the Mountie, and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase versus Roddy Piper, Virgil, the British Bulldog, and Bret the Hitman Hart. Huge backstory to this matchup. Ric Flair, the real world's champion, coming into the WWE after Roddy Piper spitting on the world's championship with Bobby Heenan taunting Roddy Piper and all this stuff, saying that Ric Flair would just put him to his knees, amongst other things. What do you think about all this?
Well, I think, you got just a classic gimmick there. You got Piper, which was on stage incredible as far as his performance it goes in anything he did. And then you have the legendary Ric Flair, which was the same. And then you had the Heenan.
So, Ric Flair is the sole survivor in this one. And a very controversial ending, really. They're all brawling in the ring. And then everybody gets tossed outside and is brawling outside. And Ric Flair gets knocked over the ring first. And then he's the only one that doesn't get disqualified.
Well, he's the dirtiest player in the game.
Very odd way for the referee to end this matchup.
Well, it might have been on his payroll. Who knows?
I guess so. But as Bobby the Brainhand would say, "Woo!" after the match, he did say that.
Oh.
Next up, Hacksaw Jim Duggan leads his team of Sergeant Slaughter, El Matador Tito Santana, and the Texas Tornado. They faced Colonel Mustafa, Skinner, Hercules, and the Berserker.
Oh, I remember the Berserker.
What do you think about this match? Honestly, it was more along the lines of a filler contest.
They had to fill it up. They had to make, they had to have back then. They had so many matches they had to fill, and it was one of those filler matches. One of those, maybe it was a very unusual, unorthodox.
The biggest thing that I can think of about this contest is the fact that Sergeant Slaughter turned babyface,
I know.
Because of this. Because for so long in 1991,
he was the most hated man in WWE.
He was the Iraqi sympathizer.
And they hated him. He was hated back then.
And he had his entourage of Colonel Mustafa and his manager and
a tent hut.
Then
Puke.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart gets injured by Ric Flair and the Beverly Brothers. He got out.
All American boys.
And next thing you know, Sergeant Slaughter comes to the rescue and he gets his country back.
A tent hut. Yeah, he went patriotic all of a sudden. I said, what the heck? And at first I didn't think that was going to work for him because I thought he did too bad of stuff. To go back to the old Sergeant Slaughter, the G.I. Joe Slaughter. Right. But I think, fans did forgive him eventually on that.
Right.
G.I. Joe. Remember when he was at a character playing G.I. Joe?
So, and one last thing to really touch base on this. You know how WWE back in those days always had the one match where the entire team got eliminated and the entire team won?
Yes, that was back in the...
Well, this time it was switched. The babyface team was completely together and did not get eliminated. The past Survivor Series teams always
the good guys would all get
eliminated,
and there'd be one guy left.
It would be one big heel team.
Yes, against
to win. And this time, Sergeant Slaughter's crew never got eliminated. The entire team was the sole survivors.
Proud American.
The Rockers and the Bushwhackers versus the Nasty Boys and the Beverly Brothers.
I remember the Beverly Brothers. All American boys. They were two Americans.
Really? Is there anything to say about this contest? Not a whole lot to say about this matchup.
It was entertaining.
Besides the fact that the Rockers were on the verge of splitting up. And as we know, right after this Survivor Series, we had that classic epic heel turn. That's disgusting. Epic heel turn of Shawn Michaels at the barber shop.
Yes, I remember that at the Brutus the Beefcake's barber shop. Kicked him through a glass plate window, wasn't it?
Absolutely. He just threw him through the glass.
And all the fans are crying and stuff. That's when Marty Jannetty's career started going like this, and Shawn Michaels' career started going like this.
Absolutely.
I mean, Marty Jannetty, in which I was a big fan of Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty
went down.
I mean, he got tag team titles and he got Intercontinental Championship.
But he just
other than that,
flatlined.
But Shawn Michaels took off.
I mean, he started out good after he split up from Michaels, but then just gradually, and here's Michaels going the other way, gradually up. And so it just kind of, and then Michaels is now like a huge legend. And who's Marty Jannetty? I hate to say it.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I mean, people still know Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, but how many people are going to know Shawn Michaels before they know?
Well, okay. People still know the Rockers.
Yeah, the Rockers were a legend in tag team action, but even these younger ones kind of still, they like Michaels. HBK is still ringing in their ears more than Marty Jannetty, which I was a fan of Marty Jannetty's. I don't know what happened to him. He had no charisma, his ability in the ring was awesome, but he was trying to make a comeback, but that didn't work out very good. Years ago.
And then we have the GRAVEST Challenge, where World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan defended the title against the Undertaker. Back then,
what you gonna do, brother?
It was World Wrestling Federation, now WWE. This epic matchup, it was a changing of the tides back then. You know, for so long, every pay-per-view, guaranteed Hulk Hogan was going to win. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah, Hogan won so many pay-per-views at one time.
But,
Hogan was going to be the guaranteed
I
winner.
mean, it doesn't matter who he was facing. But this storyline and what led up to it, with Ric Flair getting in the middle of it, getting in Hogan's ear, especially how this match ended, and leading up to it at the funeral parlor,
I remember that.
where Hogan got hit. Hogan got hit with an urn and choked by Undertaker, and the cross got ripped off of him.
And you know, really, Hogan was able to outdo almost every one of his battles, even with Zeus and all them other King Kong Bundy and Andre the Giant, the great Andre the Giant. He was.
And what does this have to do with the Gravest Challenge?
Well, listen to me. He was always be able to overcome those people, but the Undertaker is a different story. You couldn't quite take the Undertaker like he defeated his other enemies.
Not at the Survivor Series.
Yeah, but
he couldn't.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. That Undertaker was a little bit more tough of an opponent. Yeah, unusually tougher than some of his others.
It was.
I mean, this is the beginning of an era, Undertaker era, and the ending of a Hulkamania era.
Which is why I said it was a changing of the tides.
It's a changing of the tides. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Which it all ended with the tombstone on the steel chair.
Yes, and I really think that was the end of the rule. Not that Hogan didn't come back later, and not that Hogan wasn't popular later, but it was the end of Hogan Hulkamania being dominant over everything. As far as he did come back later and do some stuff, and got of course, but before that time, Hulkamania was that there was no other force greater. I mean, you had the Ultimate War and some of the others, they faded away and stuff. And here comes Undertaker. His reign would last way longer than Hulkamania did.
27 years.
Yes. And I mean, a dominant, pretty much until the last few years of his career. He was dominant for 10 or 20 years. He ruled.
So,
but anyway,
that was a main huge start of it.
It was. It was a change of the tides. It was kind of a, and not that Hulkamania wasn't strong after that, but it just seemed like this was some changes going on. The 90s was a huge change, because eventually then the Attitude Era came into being. Eventually it just changed tremendously. You look at the 80s and the 90s, how much it changes within 4 or 5 years, especially with WCW coming along and stealing some of their athletes. It changed the story forward.
Right. And then finally, the natural disasters and IRS took on LOD and the Big Boss Man. Originally, this was supposed to be Legion of Doom, the Big Boss Man, and Sid Justice versus Natural Disasters, IRS, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts,
one
Snake
of my
Bits
favorites,
Randy Savage, and Sid Justice.
Couldn't sleep after that.
Gets injured right before this happens. So the question is, will Macho Man Randy Savage be able to wrestle, get reinstated in the WWE? President Jack Tunney,
Old Tunney,
says yes, he is reinstated. But no,
Puppet of
he
man.
is not going to wrestle at the Survivor Series. Instead, we are going to have a one-on-one matchup at this Tuesday in Texas between, you're disgusting, between Jake Roberts and the Macho Man Randy Savage. One of two main events for that event. The other was Undertaker versus Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship. Now, this contest, 3-on-3, elimination style. What do you think of it?
Me, of the elimination match?
Natural disasters and IRS versus LOD and BOSMAN.
Yes. Well, what I think about it, first of all, I'm a huge fan of, I'm really a big fan of Earthquake. I thought he was a good bad guy. LOD got a legendary team. The match, since some of the other guys said and then was out of the match, it kind of was left. I think IRS is a very underestimated wrestler. I think I always liked his technical skills in the ring. Aaron R. Shyster,
otherwise known
is IRS.
That's right.
I remember him when he was with Barry Windham, and he was part of the what was the name of that team?
When he was Mike Rotundo.
Yes, and they was a tag team champions. But anywho, he was a very...
That has nothing to do with him being IRS.
Yes, but he is IRS in this
that
match.
Has nothing to do with him having his tax building and all that stuff.
Yes, well,
he says you don't have to pay your taxes.
He's a very good wrestler, and so he brought a lot. I'm just saying he's underestimated in the match, but anyway, it was a pretty good match.
So about the middle of the matchup, IRS accidentally Colcocks Typhoon.
Ew.
That means hit.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, go ahead.
And
Typhoon, it used to be Tugboat. Woo woo.
And causes him to be eliminated. So Earthquake leaves.
Oh, he had to leave too, didn't he?
So he just leaves.
I bet he
just... he just leaves. It wasn't one of those.
Oh, okay. I thought
that wasn't until the 1992 Survivor Series.
Oh, okay. Because used to I remember where the tag teams had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a year before.
So Earthquake got mad and just left. So he got eliminated as well. So IRS was by himself. And then LOD just went to work on IRS.
Oh, yeah. LOD legend.
LOD just went to work on him. Big Boss Man came out and made sure IRS stayed in the ring because IRS was going to hightail it out of there.
From Cobb County, Georgia.
Well, LOD, the tag team champions at the time, picked up the victory in our sole survivors.
Didn't they do that on the shoulders?
Doomsday device.
Yep. That's what I thought. Nobody can get up. Nobody gets up from that one, guys. That was one of the main.
So congratulations.
Knocked his head from off.
Legion of Doom. Now, after all this, one last thing to cover, and that is Mean Gene Okerlund's interview with The Undertaker as the WWE Champion.
Mean Gene.
Dark, cryptic, eerie, scary.
Undertaker would not go away, even though he wasn't just like some of his.
It's just by the casket.
Yeah, that's a good.
It was by the casket.
Now, was he still managed by Brother Love then? Or was it still Paul Bearer?
It was Paul Bearer.
That's right. I remember when he used to be managed by
Brother Love was 1990 when he first came out.
When he first came out.
Very shortly thereafter, Brother Love.
I love you.
He went off down the road.
He got fired.
Ultimate Warrior took care of that.
He got
fired. But so he said,
what an interview.
He said, the only thing left is the burial. Boop, boop, boop. Ashes. Paul Bear said he was going to hold him over till Tuesday in Texas. The Undertaker said the only thing left to do to Hulk Hogan is the burial at Tuesday.
They was going to bury Hogan, wasn't they?
Yes. What do you think about the?
Well, you know, of course, we know history. You know, Hogan always found his way to, you know, get out of situations like that. But,
well, of course he did, because Jack Tunney was the one who gave him the rematch after Hogan went into his office and talked and got the rematch.
And wasn't not Jack Tunney just a puppet of McMahon, pretty much? Just with the strings and everything.
But
he pretty much did whatever Vince said, told him to do.
Well, this is about the promo.
Okay, yeah, I have to watch that. But anyway, yeah, they want to set it up because Undertaker wasn't going to hold the belt long.
No, he held it 6 days.
Yeah, they wasn't going.
Let's see, how did Gorilla Monsoon put it?
Well,
one of the shortest lived reigns in the history.
But he might be true, but at the same time, he becomes one of the greatest icons of all time too.
Yes.
Like he don't win the belt again until he faces Sid Vicious, if I'm not wrong.
He doesn't win it again. Yeah, that's right.
WrestleMania 13. Yeah. Psycho Sid. Welcome to the dark days of the WWE. Right. So it'd be a while before he got the belt, but he got him a good reputation.
And that is, you have any other comments to make?
Not at the top of my brain yet.
Okay.
I'll make sure to interrupt you when I do.
Not at the top of your brain, and that's not very.
It's so massive.
That's not very high.
It's so massive, and my IQ's so high that
I'm sure it is. But anyway, that's Survivor Series in 1991. Hope you enjoyed this review. This is Jason Funny. Make sure you go and check out his
YouTube videos.
They're entertaining. Subscribe to my channel.
Jason Funny, maybe now. I don't know. I haven't changed it yet, but Jason Funny, FUNNY. But if you can't find it under that, it's WHITS.
Go back and check out anything you've missed on my channel this week.
I'll do that because I haven't watched a lot of your channels. So
Raw and SmackDown live reviews, SummerSlam review, all of the Survivor Series, classic Survivor Series reviews, 1987, 88, 89, and 90 are all up on the channel right now.
I'll promote that on my channel.
So go and check them out right now, along with anything else you've missed. Until I see you again, this is Webby, and I will catch you on the other side.
Jason Funny.
Talk to you later.